Crystal Data Concept offers you data science program. The programs are there to make you better. We offer courses like Python, Microsoft SQL, Advanced Excel, and any, either of Tableau or Power BI. It takes a maximum of within 3 to 6 months to make you ready, inclusive of your training projects, which are supervised by high-tech faculties. This is what you can get when you enroll at Crystal Data Concept. Hello, good evening. I think I have to start. There's no time to waste. Yesterday we were talking about some important aspects in Tableau, and we actually did a lot with respect to dashboard creation and the concept of dashboard and why we create dashboard. For the brevity, we have to see touch on dashboard before we go to the final segment in our basic understanding of Tableau, which is the storytelling. So I would like to share my screen. So go to the dashboard. We're able to explain some basics that relates to dashboard, discussed about the importance of this side of the dashboard, why this have to show us the different sheets as we have done in the work already, and you see we can swap sheets from this arrow. That means what is on the board, what is already on the canvas, we can swap it to what is here by this singular arrow, and follow this and go back to the original sheet on each of them. Then this is our object of work. Then we'll talk about the tile and the floating platform. Why the tile is a kind of systematic, rigid. The floating allows you to put space as you wish, and they have different orientation. It is at your discretion to know which to use and why you use what you want to use. And this functionality here, showboard, gives you the room to name this dashboard. When I click it now, you see dashboard 1 comes out, so I can decide to accommodate the dashboard 1 by trying to readjust what I have here. Reduce this a bit so that I can give room for yes. So for dashboard 1, we can name it, and we can also format it. So call it new dboard. Building it, give it maybe coloration, and you can new dboard. can also format this by trying to do some things with it. We come to more option, see some floating, and it is asking you floating order. You bring this to front or take it forward. So whatever you want, you can do it here. To fit duplicate sheet amongst many. You can also filter your work and do one or two things there. When I click on this, I would like to see if I can do some formatting. Click on format and go to border. Click on border and hello Victor. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening, sir.
How is work? You people can't late these days though. You know our class will have 1 hour for the internet something. You know, we're on the last aspect today with respect to Tableau. We have treated many aspects. I don't know if you're able to watch the. Okay, let me see who want to come in. David. Mr. David, you're welcome. Can you hear me, David? Okay. I said we were able to do some things with the dashboard yesterday. I was talking, the network went off and I wanted to re-establish, but my phone, the memory has full, so I couldn't do much. So that is why I have to create a new what do you call it now, broadcast on my other phone, so that I am not restrained by phone. But were you able to go through the dashboard yesterday, the one that we have created and how we created the dashboard? Victor, can you hear me?
Yes, I went.
You went through.
Yes,
okay.
I went through it.
Do you have any confusion about that?
No. It's straightforward now. Nothing much there to confuse.
It's okay. Mr. David, can you hear me? Mr. David has been struggling with his laptop. That is why he has not been very consistent. Pray that he's rectified that. So if you understood that, then I think we'll not waste much time here. The only this that the dashboard 1 and the dashboard 2 was created using the floating platform, while the dashboard 3 was created using the tile. And then from my own view, I think I like the tiled platform. It gives you some level of discretion. Things are not kind of clumsy when you are setting up, but depends on what you want to fit in. But I think that this particular dashboard makes a lot of sense to me too. So if we have understood dashboard, how we can be able to get to this point in dashboard, remember your dashboard and what is inside is as a result of the work you have done previously in your various worksheets. You're only bringing it onto the dashboard to give a direction or to answer question that may require insight. So instead of you talking with mouth, you are answering with visual, and the visual are self-explanatory. Remember that you can also add text to whatever you are doing. There's a room for text. For instance, I want to make a comment. I will come and click on the text. When I click on the text, it comes up. I will now write what I want to write. The work, for instance, the work is great. And if I have done this, I can say okay. You see where it has taken it. Now it is my work now to drag it to where I want to take it to. It looks like it's this thing. You see, it is asking me where to place. If it is on that tile, I can say okay, I want to place it up. I will leave it here. When it comes here, I will now begin to do what? To reduce the size to get to what I want. That the work is great can be a title, can be a name for the assignment, or can be the answer. See, I've been able to do that. It is there fitted. The work is great. So that is how you can bring in text. And when you don't want it again, you come over here, click on here and remove it from the dashboard. Or you can do other things by clicking on the small arrow. You can do a lot of things with it. So that is a simple way. You have understood how you can be able to condition your screen to accept big or small space, minding that you may be working, presenting with your phone, or you want to see it through your phone, so that it can be able to be compatible with your phone, and you can be on the desktop. You can set it taking cognizance of the size of your desktop, or it can be an iPhone. That is why the setting is there. You preview it, you set it, then you begin to use. Okay, so the next thing that you want to learn is the last one here, which is the story. Let me click on it. Now this is story. What is story all about? Story is, as I always say, my prof would say one thing: after you have said everything that you want to say, the question is, and then what? Or what then? So this is the story that answers the what of all that we have done. The stakeholder want to see, this is the problem, this is the solution. No big grammar. It is our work as data scientists or analytics to go into the nitty-gritty of the work, to fish in the problem, to look at where we are having challenges or what we want to solve, look at the various dimensions, look at the result we have gotten before. After everything, we cannot come up with a specific recommendation or a specific answer, and that answer is what is captured in the story. So story answers everything that we want to say, also in visual. So remember that Tableau is all about what? Visual, and more visual. So everything starts with visual and it ends with visual. That's why I was telling that the calculation is not too much of importance. It's not that it's not there, but what they are aiming at is all about visual. They want to show it in picture. So this is your story. You have your layout. Let's click on it and see. Okay, I close it, bring it back. Click on the layout. You have your caption box. How you want it to look like is what this one is saying. It's on caption boxes now. The box is just like box as caption. It can be on number. You can say number 1. It can be on dot. It can be on arrow. It is what you want that you see there. What you want that you see there. Go back to the story. You have blank. You can duplicate it and tell your story. Then you can see again, we have everything, including, let's go down, including our dashboard. Do you see? So it includes the dashboard. So all it is going to say is just give us a story. So for instance, if our answer to all what we have said is just one diagram, even though we have plenty, for example, It's just one diagram, and the diagram is just this scatter plot. For instance, what we do, we drag it and bring it into our space and leave it there. For instance, if this is where our solution lies, when we bring it here, we are not trying to use visual to answer the question of the business or the solution that we are looking for. Then we can now go ahead to now drag and add text. You can add text to your work. You can write title. If you don't want to remove title, you see it has gone down because I remove. If not, you want title, it will give you the name. What name do you give it? You click it, you say, for instance, more or aggressive marketing through promotions. On bikes. Bikes is a subcategory. Now this is the story you want to tell, and you can make it a little bit colorful, but not always. I think if you have read that work we have on the work we have on this thing, what do you call it, on that back of that material I sent, there is 10 rules that you should always observe. Those 10 rules will help you. Amongst them are colors. Don't always use contrasting and shouting color. You disfocus your audience, and that is the last thing you may want to do. You want to get their attention. So this story also, it has size. It is left for you to shaping it to the size too. It has size. See this one as if it's too large. You can come here and also address the size. Either you increase the size or you reduce. When you click on this, your vertical axis are affected. You continue to shift, for instance, depending on your screen, and when you click on this, your horizontal is affected. I want to reduce, you can, so that you'll be very visible. They're all at your discretion. Then you have a custom size among, you see, it doesn't have much, so if you don't like the caption, you can remove the caption, but you can able to. But normally for story, just one diagram or just one idea covers one story, and it's not only one story. You can have several stories. It can be 4 or 5 stories that tells the whole story. So you can come, this is story 1, you have named it. You can see that you can also open another story and give another story with respect to what you have done or your investigation or whatever that is it, that is your challenge. You can be able to use that to resolve it. The whole essence of our work is captured in the story. The essence or the reason for our investigation, reason for our analysis, the problem the business is facing, or the prospect we want to attain are all captured in the story. And story is just like a summary of everything that has happened in the course. Excuse me. Okay. You're welcome, Mr. David. So as I was saying, so everything is captured in the story, just like a summary of all that has happened. Remember, as an analytics or as a data scientist, you are the one that gets your hand dirty. You are the one that soils your hand. You can be on a particular assignment for months. The stakeholder, the shareholder, the owners of the business are not concerned. All their own is where is the solution, the end point is what they are after. So the nitty gritty and the intricate workings are left for the data scientists and the data analytics or any other data person. But the final solution is what they want to see. So this story tells everything in summary, just like a sentence or a phrase. Aggressive marketing through promotion on bikes. This is just a simple grammar, but the simple grammar can be captured by maybe a particular visual which was answering the question of why the failure or what we have to do to surpass our competitor. So that is where the story is. That is what they want to see. Or your line of action. What is the plan of action? We want to see it on the story. So I say that it can be just one table. I just use one table. It can be from your dashboard. The dashboard that gave us a compendium of answers to a singular question. It can be a dashboard. For instance, let me go and open a second story and pick maybe a dashboard. Let me pick something like this, for instance. Okay, let me pick something like this and drag it onto our dashboard. Remember, sometimes our story may not look like this. I'm just giving you an example, but sometimes it can be like this. But in most cases, your story is just one singular answer to your problem, except if the problem is in multidimensional or they are interrelated. So what we did here was to show you the background of how the story is created. It is almost the same thing with our dashboard. It's almost the same thing with our dashboard. The analysis, everything are the same. It's just the canvas where we operate. And I told you that you want to this story too you are seeing is because of this. Click it out, it goes, put it back, is there. Also, because it has caption, it can be in pages, as we said. Like the first one, for instance, if I want to use a caption, I will go to my layout and maybe I will give it number. Call this one number 1. Then when I comes to this, I will come again and give it number. I may change this one now to it's not changing. Okay, it's not changing, but I don't know why. But you may give it a caption and name, because I know with a caption box you can also write something on it. Yes, I can even just write page 1 there to save myself stress. I know it is page 1, or if this is story 2, I call it page 2 and go back to the first one and call it, change it to caption box. I'll call it page 2 or page 1. So the story is just very straightforward, and it doesn't have much of the challenges. You can always use this to set the size of how you want this space to look like, based on where you want to use it. Or is it on the phone, on the iPad, on the desktop, or even on the screen, depending on this and the resolution, so that it can be sharp and be flexible for usage. That is what is there. See, there's no much on the story. It is just giving us one idea. It can be several, as we have here, and you also ensure that you name it. You name your story so that it will have a kind of a link or make a sense. Then I don't think there's any other thing that is here that you can do. So, but actually, after you have given your story, you can say that you have conclusively done your assignment on Tableau. It will start from you generating your sheet, and after you have generated your sheet, you will now do what? answer the question, because question is not all about just bringing out data as you want to just be bringing out visual. It's always garbage in, garbage out, but it's all about giving us a compelling story at the end of the day. So after that, you have done that, you go back again and look at your work. What is the next assignment? What do they require you to do? You make sure you visualize it. Then from there up to the last stage. So I think this is all we need to know in basic about Tableau. The one thing I did not do was how to bring in work from SQL into our Tableau field. It's not just bringing work. Bringing work is one. There is what we call custom table. Let me see if I, but it will not be on the Tableau public. Let me see. Let me check the other table and see. Table professional. Let me see if there's anything like that. They continue to modernize, so we also move along. I intend to do that when we want to do our SQL, so that you can see how you can be able to clean your work, set up your work from the SQL environment, and then you now bring it in from SQL direct into Tableau. So you discover that what you are doing now is a work that has already been cleaned in a different platform, and you're bringing it into a new platform. Let me just open any of my work here and see if that space is still available. This is an old platform environment. That is why you can see dimension. This is talking about dimension. Okay, it's no more there. I have removed it. We used to have it, so we can able to use that to bring in work from SQL. But we can see also how we can do that kind of work. This was actually the work I did for somebody, for a prof yesterday. It has to do with economy, the Nigerian what do you call it, the Nigerian foreign policy, foreign trade report for 2023 for the whole quarter. Was able to do it on Excel, and also brought in the table into it to show some level of expertise, and also we're able to use it to make some interpretation, and that is what we can do. You see the work from the Excel environment, from the National Bureau of Statistics on its raw data. Now it is you now that makes sense from it, and from that we begin to make interpretation and extrapolation and the other thing. This is what we can do. You can get data from any source, and you can actually divide it and get meaning out of it, like what we have just done. So we have concluded our work on Tableau, so we have to give room for tutorial. I don't know when do you want to have your tutorial, because I want to begin to look at the work you are doing on the Power BI I gave, because if I don't monitor that work, it will become trouble for you if you continue to pile up work. If you are piling up work and not doing it, it will become
You are
trouble.
very correct, though, Jude.
So what is going to happen is that I want to allow us to rest for this week. Then by Tuesday we'll be having storm session for 1 week. I want to see your program. I will not send, or do I send Tableau 2 for you?
Please, I beg.
No,
When we finish the Power BI first.
what
Yeah.
is there is this, that table. Let's open that work I sent to you. That's what I want to use for your assignment. I want you to do something about it. See the prof work. This thing is sweet too. I'm telling you, this thing is sweet. I don't know why. Let me just open this one, just like a digression. We'll see. Go to it. This thing is not opening. It's not even what I want to see before. Where's our work? I think there are two of them. I want to see. Let me see this one. You are seeing my screen, Abby?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
See, what they used here was Tableau Professional, but because of the license problem, but mostly the data is the same. You can always get the same thing. There's something I want to be sure so that. So, I want you to, as your work you are going to do, that is all. I want you to replicate whatever is said. You see the instruction that has been given by? Just follow the instruction and replicate this. When you replicate this, you submit it to me, but we'll be seeing it in Storm.
Why don't we have something like this for the Power BI?
Power BI and Tableau are not the same, brother. They are not. They are competitors, as you should know.
Is that Jude?
This particular thing, everything will not come like this. Everything will not come like this. Actually, Tableau is more easier than Power BI. That is the truth, and it is more sweeter. It's just that for us to be on a balanced scale, we want everybody to. But if you come for visualization and interaction with your system, Tableau is good. So I want you to do this. I want you to do this. The first work, the first one I sent, there are two of them. Please, you can replicate this. Just follow the instruction. You see this. Even if there's deviation, it will not be much. So I don't give you SS assignments. This one is very, very simple and key. Can you be able to do that? You are not talking now.
This one has step-by-step instruction.
So follow it.
And so maybe this might work since there's instruction step by step. Yeah.
So you follow it step by step. If you can be able to do this, you are a pro on Tableau anywhere. You don't have an issue. All you need to do maybe to be studying one or two things. You can write professional exam on Tableau and you get your certificate from renowned big companies worldwide. So I want you to do this.
Why don't we have step by step like this for Power BI?
You can't have everything in one. They are all different. It is the way they are coming that we are giving to you. Do you understand? It's because I have this material that I'm giving you so that you use it, so that you become better too.
Is that right? Is that right?
Somebody else will not even show you this, but it's not me. Knowledge is free. It's just that it's the process of getting knowledge that will charge, so that you can be able to cover costs. But knowledge is supposed to be free. Even though I pay more than 1 million for my own. It's okay. So I think we'll close here. By next week Tuesday, we'll have a storm session. I would like to see your progress work. Please present this. Tell us what you have. We want to see what you have done so far. If there's a place we need to guide ourselves.
That's for the Power BI.
Yes, for the Power BI. Why this one is there? After the Power BI, from after this week, I think you start begin to consider. It is after 2 weeks. I want you to rest. I've loaded too much on your head on Power BI and Tableau. because after 2 weeks from after next week and upper week, the third one we are going to enter Excel from the scratch to the advanced level. Excel is taking us more time. Everybody knows Excel, but they know very little about the Excel they think they know. So we'll do it up to the level of VBA, macros and the less. So we'll get prepared for it. After that now, we'll begin to think of what else to do, whether to go to SQL or to go to
Hmm.
Python.
Hmm. I'll be dropping my retirement cap there.
It's alright, no problem. So I think we'll close here. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Jude.
It's, uh,
Appreciate.
it's alright.